His world collapsed when his wife died, leaving him alone with their daughter. But when the enigmatic billionaire walked into his struggling bakery and their eyes met across the counter, everything changed in an instant. What happens next will leave you breathless, asterisk. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content that will touch your soul. Your support means everything to us. The morning sun filtered through the dusty windows of Sweet Memories Bakery as Ethan Morgan wiped the flour from his calloused hands. At 34, the lines around his eyes told stories of both joy and heartbreak. 3 years had passed since cancer took Sarah, leaving him to raise their daughter Lily alone. The bakery, once their shared dream, now served as both his lifeline and his burden. "Daddy, I finished my homework." 7-year-old Lily bounded into the kitchen, her dark curls, so like her mother's, bouncing with each step. She clutched a math worksheet covered in careful numbers and gold star stickers. Ethan's exhaustion melted away as he knelt to examine her work. "That's my brilliant girl. Your mom would be so proud." The words caught in his throat as they always did when he mentioned Sarah. Lily's smile dimmed slightly. "Do you think she can see my stars from heaven?" "I know she can, sweetheart." Ethan pulled her into a tight hug, breathing in the scent of her strawberry shampoo. "She has the best view of all." The bell above the door chimed, interrupting their moment. "Looks like we have a customer. Why don't you go finish your drawing in the office?" As Lily skipped away, Ethan turned toward the front counter, plastering on his customer service smile. The smile froze when he saw who had entered. Everyone in the small town of Mapleton knew of Alexandra Winters. The billionaire tech mogul had shocked the community 6 months ago by purchasing the abandoned Hartwell estate on the outskirts of town. Rumors swirled about why someone with her wealth and status would relocate to their forgotten corner of the world. Some said she was hiding from scandal, others claimed she was secretly ill. Whatever the truth, she rarely ventured into town, making her appearance in his humble bakery all the more startling. She stood just inside the doorway, removing designer sunglasses to reveal piercing blue eyes that surveyed the space with quiet intensity. Her tailored charcoal suit probably cost more than Ethan's monthly rent, yet she wore it with casual elegance. At her side stood a stern-looking assistant clutching a tablet. "Good morning," Ethan managed, suddenly conscious of the flour dusting his apron and the stubble on his jaw. "Welcome to Sweet Memories." Alexandra approached the counter with measured steps. "I've heard your sourdough is exceptional." Her voice was lower than he expected, with a hint of huskiness that sent an unexpected shiver down his spine. "It's our specialty," Ethan replied, trying to ignore the strange flutter in his chest. "My wife's recipe." Something flickered across Alexandra's face, curiosity, perhaps. "I'd like to try it, then." As Ethan wrapped a fresh loaf, he felt her studying him. "You're Ethan Morgan," she stated rather than asked. He looked up, surprised. "I am. Your reputation precedes you. I understand you once trained under Chef Laurent in Paris." The mention of his past life, before marriage, before Lily, before grief had reshaped his world, caught him off guard. That was a lifetime ago. "Talent doesn't expire, Mr. Morgan." She accepted the wrapped bread, her fingers brushing his. The contact was brief but electric, causing Ethan's heart to stutter in his chest. "I'm hosting a dinner party this weekend. My chef has fallen ill. I'd like to hire you." The request was so unexpected that Ethan laughed. "I'm just a small-town baker now, Ms. Winters." "Alexandra," she corrected, her gaze unwavering. "And I don't believe that's all you are." Before Ethan could respond, Lily emerged from the back room, curiosity overcoming her shyness. "Your necklace is pretty," she said, pointing to the simple platinum pendant at Alexandra's throat. Instead of the dismissal Ethan expected, Alexandra knelt to Lily's level, her expression softening remarkably. "Thank you. It was my grandmother's. She said it brought good luck to those with kind hearts." Lily beamed. My name is Lily. I'm 7. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lily. I'm Alexandra. She glanced up at Ethan, something unreadable in her eyes. Your father is very talented. He makes the best cookies in the world, Lily declared with absolute certainty. Alexandra's laugh was unexpected, warm and genuine, transforming her composed features. Is that so? Then perhaps I should order some of those as well. As she stood, Alexandra reached into her purse and produced a business card, placing it on the counter. The party is Saturday evening. I'll pay triple your usual rate. Think about it. After she left, Ethan stared at the card, embossed with just her name and a phone number. The bakery was barely staying afloat. Lily needed new winter clothes. The property taxes were coming due. And yet, something beyond money made his fingers close around the card. Are you going to call the pretty lady, Daddy? Lily asked, interrupting his thoughts. Ethan tucked the card into his pocket. I'm thinking about it, sweetheart. That night, after tucking Lily into bed, Ethan sat at his kitchen table surrounded by past due notices. The mortgage payment was late again. The insurance company had denied another claim related to Sarah's final treatments. The walls of their small apartment above the bakery seemed to close in around him. With trembling fingers, he dialed the number on Alexandra's card, expecting a secretary or voicemail. Instead, her voice answered directly. I was hoping you'd call, Ethan. The way she said his name, like she'd been waiting specifically for him, made his pulse quicken. About your dinner party. I'd like to accept. Excellent. My driver will pick you up Saturday at 4. We can discuss the menu then. There's one condition, Ethan said, surprising himself with his boldness. I'll need to bring Lily. I don't have anyone to watch her. The pause that followed made him regret his request, but then Alexandra replied, of course. I look forward to seeing you both. Saturday arrived with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. Ethan packed his professional knives, untouched for years, while Lily bounced excitedly around their apartment in her best dress. Will there be other kids there? She asked as Ethan straightened her collar. I don't think so, sweetheart. But I've packed your tablet and headphones. You can watch movies in the kitchen while I work. A sleek black car arrived precisely at 4. The driver, a stoic man named Reynolds, opened the door with formal courtesy. Lily's eyes widened at the luxury vehicle's interior. It's like a spaceship, Daddy. The Hartwell estate loomed against the afternoon sky, its renovated grandeur both intimidating and breathtaking. Alexandra greeted them at the entrance, her casual attire of silk blouse and tailored pants somehow making Ethan more nervous than her formal business suit had. Welcome, she said, her eyes lingering on Ethan before shifting warmly to Lily. I have a surprise for you, Lily. My housekeeper's granddaughter is visiting, she's 8 and was hoping for a playmate. Would you like to meet her? Lily's face lit up as a girl with braided hair peeked shyly from behind a doorway. Within minutes, the children were chattering away, following the housekeeper to what Alexandra described as a playroom with more toys than sense. You didn't have to do that, Ethan said as they walked toward the kitchen. Children should have fun, Alexandra replied simply. And you should be able to work without worry. The kitchen was a chef's dream, all gleaming surfaces and professional equipment. As Alexandra showed him around, their hands accidentally brushed again, sending that same inexplicable current through him. He stepped back, flustered. I should get started on the menu. Of course. Was that disappointment in her voice? My guests arrive at 7. Nothing fancy, just some business associates I'm hoping to impress. As Ethan worked, Alexandra remained in the kitchen, ostensibly reviewing documents on her laptop but frequently glancing his way. The comfortable silence between them was occasionally broken by her thoughtful questions about his techniques or his life. Why did you leave Paris? She asked as he prepared a delicate sauce. Ethan's hands stilled momentarily. I met Sarah, my wife. She was studying art abroad. When we fell in love, my priorities changed. You don't regret it? The career you might have had? Not for a second. His answer came without hesitation. Some things matter more than ambition. Alexandra's expression turned contemplative. I used to think nothing mattered more than success. Used to? She met his gaze directly. I'm beginning to reconsider many things. The dinner was a triumph. Ethan prepared a 5-course meal that had Alexandra's guests raving. From his vantage point in the kitchen, he watched her command the room with effortless authority, yet there was something in her demeanor that seemed almost lonely amid the admiration. After the guests departed, Alexandra found him cleaning up. You exceeded all expectations, she said, leaning against the counter beside him. My associates were impressed. I'm glad, Ethan replied, acutely aware of her proximity. One of them owns a restaurant group. He asked for your contact information. Ethan looked up, surprised. You gave it to him? I said I would ask you first. Alexandra moved closer. Though selfishly, I'm hoping you might consider a different offer. What kind of offer? His voice had dropped to nearly a whisper. I need a personal chef. The position includes accommodation, the guest house on the property. It's quite spacious. Room for you and Lily both. The proposal was so unexpected that Ethan could only stare. Why me? You could hire anyone. Alexandra's gaze dropped briefly to his lips before meeting his eyes again. Because when you cook, I can see your soul in every dish. It's been a very long time since anything has moved me that way. The air between them charged with unspoken tension. Ethan found himself leaning toward her, drawn by some invisible force. Her hand rose to his face, thumb gently brushing his lower lip to remove a speck of flour he hadn't realized was there. His heart literally seemed to stop for a beat, then resumed at double speed. I should check on Lily, he managed, stepping back. Alexandra nodded, composing herself. Of course. They found the girls asleep in the playroom, surrounded by toys and half-finished drawings. Lily stirred as Ethan lifted her. Can I come back tomorrow, Daddy? She mumbled sleepily. Alexandra answered before he could. Anytime you want, sweetheart. On the drive home, with Lily sleeping against his shoulder, Ethan stared out at the passing darkness, his mind in turmoil. The offer was generous, life-changing, even. But he sensed accepting it would alter his world in ways that went far beyond financial security. The next morning, he found Alexandra waiting outside the bakery before opening hours. She wore jeans and a simple sweater, her hair loose around her shoulders. She looked younger, more vulnerable somehow. I couldn't sleep, she admitted as he unlocked the door. I kept thinking I might have overstepped. Ethan invited her in, starting the morning coffee. It was a generous offer. But you're hesitating. She accepted the mug he offered, their fingers touching briefly. This bakery was Sarah's dream. It feels like letting go of her. Alexandra's expression softened with understanding. Tell me about her. And so he did. As the morning light strengthened, Ethan shared stories of Sarah, her laugh, her determination, how she'd fought until the very end. Alexandra listened without interruption, her eyes never leaving his face. She sounds remarkable, Alexandra said when he finally fell silent. She would want you and Lily to be happy, wouldn't she? Yes, Ethan admitted. But I'm afraid. Of what? Of moving forward. Of feeling. He couldn't finish the sentence. Alexandra set down her coffee. I understand fear, Ethan. I built an empire trying to outrun mine. What were you afraid of? Connection. Vulnerability. Her smile turned self-deprecating. Ironic that I fled to a small town to escape the world, only to find myself more exposed than ever. The honesty in her admission touched something deep within him. "Why did you really come to Mapleton, Alexandra?" She looked away, then back at him with newfound resolution. "My doctor gave me 6 months to live. That was 8 months ago." The revelation hit Ethan like a physical blow. "You're ill?" "I was. Aggressive lymphoma. The same kind that took my father." She touched the platinum pendant at her throat. "The experimental treatment worked. I'm in remission now, but those months thinking I was dying changed me. I realized I'd built wealth but not a life." Ethan reached across the table, taking her hand in his. "Is that why you bought the estate?" "I wanted somewhere peaceful to die," she admitted. "Instead, I found somewhere beautiful to live. And then I tasted your bread, heard the locals speak of the baker who'd loved his wife so deeply he gave up fame to build her dream. And you walked into my bakery. And my heart recognized something in yours." Alexandra's fingers tightened around his. "I'm not trying to replace what you lost, Ethan. I'm suggesting we both might be ready to build something new." The bell above the door chimed as Lily burst in from her morning at a friend's house. She stopped short at the sight of Alexandra, then broke into a delighted smile. "You came back." She rushed forward, throwing her arms around Alexandra in an impulsive hug. Alexandra's surprise melted into genuine warmth as she returned the embrace. Over Lily's head, her eyes met Ethan's, questioning, hoping. In that moment, watching his daughter's easy affection and the gentle way Alexandra held her, something shifted in Ethan's chest. Not the erasing of grief, but the making of space alongside it. Room for possibility. 2 months later, Ethan stood in the kitchen of the guest house, now their home, preparing Sunday breakfast. Through the window, he could see Lily in the garden with Alexandra, both of them laughing as they planted spring bulbs. The bakery remained open, now managed by his assistant, while Ethan split his time between it and his new role as Alexandra's personal chef. But more than that, as her partner in a relationship that had blossomed with unexpected tenderness. That evening, after Lily was asleep, Ethan and Alexandra sat on the porch swing, her head resting against his shoulder as they watched the stars emerge. "I have something to ask you," Alexandra said, her voice carrying a hint of nervousness unusual for her confident demeanor. "Anything." She shifted to face him, taking both his hands in hers. "The main house feels empty with just me. I was wondering if you and Lily might consider moving in. Permanently." Ethan studied her face in the soft porch light. "Are you asking what I think you're asking?" "I'm asking if you're ready to blend our lives completely." She touched his face gently. "I love you, Ethan. I love Lily. I want us to be a family." Instead of answering with words, Ethan leaned forward, pressing his lips to hers. The kiss deepened, carrying all the emotion he couldn't yet express aloud. When they finally parted, Alexandra's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "Is that a yes?" "It's a beginning," Ethan replied, his heart full. "Sarah will always be part of me, part of Lily." "As she should be," Alexandra assured him. "I would never want to erase her memory." From her pocket, she withdrew a small velvet box. Inside was a simple band of platinum, matching the pendant she always wore. "This was my grandmother's. She said it should go to the person who restored my faith in love." As Ethan slipped the ring onto his finger, he felt not the closing of one chapter but the opening of another. Life had taken so much from him, but in its mysterious way, had also returned joy when he least expected it. "I never thought I'd feel this way again," he confessed, drawing her close. Alexandra smiled against his shoulder. "Neither did I. Perhaps that's the greatest gift, finding hope after believing it lost forever." In the quiet of the evening, with the woman he'd come to love beside him and his daughter sleeping peacefully inside, Ethan finally understood, hearts don't heal by forgetting. They heal by expanding, creating new spaces for love while honoring what came before. And sometimes, that healing begins